The first of Warner's animated features was Space Jam in 1996, a live-action animation mix which starred NBA star Michael Jordan opposite Bugs Bunny. Jordan had previously appeared with the Looney Tunes in a number of Nike commercials, directed by Joe Pytka in the live-action part, and Bruce Smith and Tony Servone on animation part. Space Jam proved to be a success at the box office. Animation production for Space Jam was primarily done at the new Sherman Oaks studio, although much of the work was outsourced to animation studios around the globe.
In Space Jam, it was the first time of the Looney Tunes being a 3D characters instead of the traditional 2D. They had 100 animators and employed 200 more, and satellite studios in several countries were utilized as well, adding about 400 more artists to the team. Between the characters and the backgrounds, they made almost 40,000 complete drawings and more than a million sheets of papers.
It all began 4 years before the actual movie. Nike was trying to figure out a way to market their Air Jordan 7. That was in 1992, and in the Super Bowl, they actually made an advertisement where they featured Bugs Bunny and Michael Jordan. In that advertisement, Bugs Bunny was outwitting aliens in basketball with the help of Michael Jordan. That idea transferred to the actual movie Space Jam. If you focus on the movie, you will see that there is a lot of product placement in that movie. A lot of Nike. That is because that's the same director that made the advertisement. The movie is actually a continuation of the idea of the advertisement. If you could say, the movie is a part 2 of that advertisement. That was a big thing for Nike. After the movie, they actually sold a lot of Air Jordans and a lot of Nike merchandise to those teenagers and kids that watched the movie. People actually bought Nike because it was a trend, not because they needed it. They influenced the population in a big way, actually made people buy them just because of Michael Jordan and the movie Space Jam and Bugs Bunny. Funnily enough, the critics hate that movie. For example, Rotten Tomatoes had that movie rated at 32%, very low rating. On the other hand, a whole generation loves that movie. But the thing is that that movie was made as an advertisement, not as a movie, not as a big story. It was just to sell Nike products. Nowadays, that movie is considered a classic. Why? Well, you could say it's because Danny DeVito was there, or Bill Murray, or even Michael Jordan. But no, it was actually because the Looney Tunes felt real within that world. You could actually feel the interaction between Michael Jordan, between Danny DeVito, between Bill Murray with the Looney Tunes. The Looney Tunes felt that they were actually in our world, and that was almost new in that era. You wanted them to be there with where you are. You wanted the Looney Tunes to be in the same world as you were, and that is why people love that movie.
In this movie, they had to hire a lot of voice actors to give the animated characters their voice. Of course, I'm not going to tell all of them, but I'm going to tell you the most important. In English and in the Spanish, in the Latin American version of the Spanish. The characters in the movie, Michael Jordan, Stan Podolak, and Bill Murray, are all voiced by themselves, by the actors, who is Michael Jordan. In Spanish version is Blas Garcia. To Stan Podolak is Wayne Knight, the actor, and in the Spanish version is Jesse Conde. And to Bill Murray, in English is the Bill Murray itself, and in the Spanish version is Salvador Delgado. Now to the animated characters, we have the Looney Tunes. The first and obviously the most important, it's Bugs Bunny, who is voiced by Bill West in the English version and by Alfonso Obregón in the Spanish version. Then we have the Pato Lucas, or Daffy Duck, also known in the United States. Is voiced by Bradley Baker in the English version and to Francisco Colmenero in the Spanish version. Lola Bunny. A fun fact is that Lola Bunny is her first appearance in all the Looney Tunes series is in this movie. So her voice actor is Cat Susie in the English version and to Maria Fernanda Morales in her Spanish version. Sorry. So those were the most important Looney Tunes. Now I'm going to the antagonist of the film, who are the monsters. The Monster Pond, Monster Bank, and Monster Nut in the image in the screen are in the respective color, and they're voiced by Darnell Sullis, Joy Carmen, Colin Wainwright, T.K. Carter, and Steve Kella, respectively. In the Spanish version, they are voiced by Miguel Ángel Guizarra, Eduardo Garza, Alejandro Vilelli, Eduardo Garza otra vez, again, sorry, I forgot it, and Maria Fernanda Morales. That's it. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Alberto, and I'm going to explain a fun facts of the movie Space Jam. One of the main characters of Looney Tunes is La Bunny, which makes its first appearance in the movie. People like the character for which Warner Bros. Put in television programs. I think they didn't expect that, so put La Bunny in the movie was a plus. Another curious fact, and I think my favorite, is during the big game you can see Elmer Fudd and Yosemite Sam get together for a brief homage to Quentin Tarantino. First, they loot the other, and 2 seconds later they put a gun in front of the bad guy. And my finally fun fact is, as if the Looney Tunes didn't have no troubles, Warner Bros. Further Animation create a whole new set of bad guys. Was say 6 or 7 new bad guys to give them a hard time. The name of that 5 new characters is Bob Cops, Nada, Null, Void, and Zilch. In the movie, that 5 monsters, like you can say, they are aliens. Is a enemy team who will play basketball with the Looney Tunes, and I think that is all.